Did you believe before the decision was announced that you clearly won the fight, or did you think it could have went either way?
I knew it was close. Of course, any close fight like that, I'm going to feel as though I won the fight. And but I just know it was close. And I thought I won, but of course, you can never be sure.
Okay. Did you feel that the knockdown in the first round was legitimate? Because from my vantage point, it looked as though you tripped over Khan's leg.
Yeah. The first time, I tripped over the referee leg, and as you can see, the referee almost fell himself. And the second time, I was the one that actually landed the punch with the hook, and then Khan kind of switched southpaw, kind of put his back leg in front of his knee leg, and I tripped over it, and he kind of gave me a little shove, and I went down. So I don't think, either one of them was enough there.
Now, it appeared that when you got close to Khan, a lot of times he would initiate the clinch, push down on the back of your neck, and he'd look over to the referee as if to ask him for help, to break you guys up instead of fighting on the inside and fighting through the clinches. Do you feel that he was looking for help, and when he didn't get it, he assumed the referee was against him because of that?
He could have, but Khan can make, all the excuses that he wants. But he does this every fight. So it's not just the way that I fight or I was just trying to rough him up. He does this all the time. He holds down on your neck, and if he see any shots, he'll take them. Like, when he fought Zab, he pulled his neck down, then he sort of opened the body shot and he took it. If he don't see anything, he's going to push you off him, because he do not want to fight in the inside. So, once he seen that the referee was wanting him for pushing and holding, then he tried to look to the ref and try to plead his case. But, the ref didn't want to hear it.
Okay. Now, because of all the controversy with the point deductions, do you feel that it takes away from your victory?
It do. For right now. But, time passed, month, maybe a year from now. No one will remember that, that they took points or anything like that. They'll just remember that I won a championship December 10th.
Now, all week, Amir was talking about how he wanted to fight Floyd Mayweather leading up to the fight. Do you feel that he was looking past you?
I don't know. Because I won't hold that against him because, in my mind, that's what I'm thinking too. Even though I haven't came out and said any interviews or anything like that. But that's all fighters. You want to fight at the, the top of your division or just the top of boxing, and Floyd Mayweather is that, and I'll wait. So, I can see where he's coming from. Maybe he was. I don't know.
Okay. Now, at the unofficial weigh-in right before the fight, before you entered the ring, you weighed 155 pounds. Did you struggle to make 140 for this fight? And how much longer do you feel you can stay at this weight class?
I didn't struggle. I wouldn't call it a struggle because, this normally is the case. Last few pounds are pretty difficult to get off. It normally comes off without me having any problems. It's just harder to do in the wintertime. In the last 3 years, I have been fighting in December. And every time in December, it's much harder to do. Earlier this year, I fought Cayo in July, that was. I really didn't have a problem making the weight. But it seemed like the wintertime, it gets rough. I would say I have a few more fights at 140, but I'm really looking forward to moving up.
Did you feel stronger than him because you were heavier than him going into the ring that night? Did you feel that you could muscle him because of that extra weight that you had on him?
Yeah. That was part of the plan. I know he's really fast. And he's fast on his feet. We knew he wanted to move. But, we wanted to box ourselves. But, plan B was to we knew we had a strength advantage. People don't look at me as a big puncher. And I wouldn't say I'm the biggest puncher out there, but I can punch. But more importantly, I'm strong. Really strong, always have been. And as far as inside fighting and fighting for position and things like that, always have been strong in that area. So, I definitely want to go in there and put my weight on him and move him around a little bit.
Now, when you were asked about Khan's power after the fight, at the post-fight press conference, you described it as stinging. And do you feel that he is a big puncher, or do you think his power may be a tad bit overrated?
Yeah, the way they put it is kind of overrated. He definitely don't have a one-punch knockout power, but his punches are so sharp that if he catch you off guard, then maybe, he can hurt you bad. But every punch he threw, I kind of saw, even if it did hit me, I did see the punch coming. So at worst, I can say, he kind of got like a stinging power to kind of give you that little sting when he hits you. But you can quickly shake it off and keep going about what you was doing. Somebody with true punching power that's heavy-handed, they can hit you, you'll feel it, and you'll feel it for a while. It's hard to shake off. But with Khan, that wasn't the case.
Now, as you said, this fight could have went either way. It was very close. But let me ask you this. If the tables were turned, with this fight being so close, and it did go his way, do you think he would give you a rematch?
No. He already was speaking his plans upon before the fight. This was going to be his last fight. He was going to move up. I'm pretty sure if he got the nod, he was going to definitely go with his plan. He wasn't going to give me a rematch.
Are you 100% certain that you want to fight Khan in a rematch next, or are there other fights out there that may interest you first?
I want the fight. But at the end of the day, if any fight bigger than a Khan fight comes up, of course I'm going to take it. That's just something that, me and my team have to agree on. And we have to all come to the table and agree on, what we're going to do from here. And if they make more sense than me, then, maybe I'll fight someone else. But if I make more sense than them, then it'll be Khan, because when we do sit down and talk about my next fight, I want to tell them that I want it to be Khan.
Now, he seems like he's trying to goad you into a rematch, and he wants it over in the UK. Do you believe that it would benefit you going over to the UK and fighting him there?
Yeah, it would benefit me if I get the win, of course. And if I go over there, I won't be planning on going to decision. I'll give him my all to make sure that I stop him or knock him out. And in that way, it definitely would benefit me. So it's something that we're gonna have to think about. If not UK, somewhere else in the US. There's plenty of other venues that we can fight in. Maybe Vegas, LA. They've been talking about, anywhere. But UK probably would be the last choice.
How different do you think this fight would have been if he wasn't pushing down on your neck, if he wasn't pushing off on you and grabbing you every time you got close? Do you think you possibly could have stopped him if he didn't do those things?
Yeah, because it would have been more of an inside fight. Been more moments that we would have been in the inside and been able to fight in that and those spots. And the more we would have fought on the inside, the more, the worse it would have got for him. And with enough inside fighting, I do believe that I can stop him.
Okay. Now, as I said, a lot of talk was Khan versus Mayweather. That was a potential fight down the road. It was very doable, they thought, if he was to get past you. Now that you beat him, do you think that puts you right in line for a fight with Mayweather? Maybe not in the immediate future, but very, very shortly down the road.
Oh yeah, because at this point, Mayweather, he's still in the game, but he's running out of opponents to fight. If not Pacquiao now or after Pacquiao, he continues to fight, then who would he fight? And by the time then, it gives me time to maybe get another victory in and make my case, to fight him.
Now, another fight that was mentioned in regards to you was a Timothy Bradley rematch. How different do you think a rematch would be with Timothy Bradley, and what could you do differently to ensure that you get the victory?
It would go differently. I would definitely use my advantages that I have over him more than just going in there and slugging it out with him. I'm the taller fighter, the longer fighter, probably the better boxer. So, I'll try to use those things a little bit more. I'm just more comfortable fighting at this level now. When I fought him in 2009, I was kind of green on that level. It was my first big fight. You could tell that he was kind of a little more comfortable with the situation, and it showed. He was the champ, and I was coming in as the number one contender, and then it's going down as we fight now. He's still a champ, but I'm coming in as a champ too, with more experience, more prepared, knowing how to prepare myself for a big fight, and I think that'll make all the difference in the world.
Well, Lamont, thank you so much for taking the time out today. I want to congratulate you on winning your championship, and I just wish you the best of luck in the future. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a good night.
You too.